In this session, we talk about vinyl siding done right the first time. Cut siding panels with a fine-toothed plywood blade with the blade turned around backwards. Tin snips are also acceptable for cutting vinyl. Take care to make the cuts uniform and straight. All marks should be removed from the siding and the vinyl. Install the starter strip level and extending down past the OSB 1/2 inch plus or minus 1/4 inch. Fasten the starter strip at 12 inches on center. Fasten siding panels with 2-inch hot-dipped galvanized nails or 1-inch hot-dipped galvanized staples, spaced a maximum of 16 inches on center. Center the fasteners in the nailing slots. Drive the fasteners to 1/32 of an inch short of snug to allow for movement, expansion, and contraction. At the top panel, if it is a rip, apply sealant in the butt lock channel and seat the top panel piece in the top lock of the panel below. The J-channel at the soffit holds the top of the panel in place. Overlap panels 1 inch to accommodate for expansion and contraction. Stagger the seams a minimum of 3 feet and repeat no less than every 3 courses. Gap the siding panels 1/4 inch at trim and terminations to accommodate for expansion and contraction. This includes windows, doors, outlets, pipes, and other penetrations in the wall. No exceptions. Flash all outlet boxes with adhesive-backed window flashing tape following the shingle-style approach. Start at the bottom, then the sides, and finish at the top. Be sure to clean the weather-resistive barrier, the house wrap, before applying the flashing tape, and use a J-roller after the tape is applied to make it stick. Accessories should be fastened in the same fashion as the panels, and in addition, the fasteners should be spaced a maximum of 12 inches apart. All corners should be hung straight from the first fastener at the top. Install sill trim inside the incorporated J-channels on the windows. Fasten the sill trim at 12 inch on center. Use a snap block punch at the top of the cut panel. Utility trim must maintain the natural angle of the panel. If necessary, fur out the utility trim to maintain the desired angle, or you may use the double sill trim method shown here. Our windows come with J-channel integrated in the window frame. It is not necessary to use a J-channel on these windows. At doors, windows, and other wall penetrations without integrated J-channel, add J-channel to shed water working up from the bottom to drain in shingle style. Install a trim coil by pre-drilling a hole slightly smaller than the nail head. Space the drilled holes at 24 inch on center. Do not fully set the nail to avoid dimpling the trim coil. Pre-drill and lightly set, leave it loose, a nail 2 inches off the seam of the front-facing fascia. Do not leave damaged fascia in place. Wipe the fascia clean after installing. Terminate soffit material at all inside and outside corners with an H-trim set at a 45-degree angle. Do not use doubled J-channel at these locations. For brick transitions, create a trim coil transition piece with a doubled hem facing the brick. Use the slotting tool to create locations for fasteners. This will allow for expansion and contraction. Back the transition piece with J-channel to create a termination for the siding panels. Nail 12 inches on center maximum. Hang the trim from the first nail, taking care to leave the nail head loose to allow for movement. Bend the transition piece to tightly fit against the brick. Caulk the joint between the transition piece and the J-channel using color-matched caulk. When installing the soffit, be sure to cut out for any electrical boxes. Make the cut neat and leave a gap to allow for the movement of the vinyl soffit material. At the garage door opening, carefully and fully push the jam leg of the trim coil firmly against the framing. Check there are no nails or other bumps under the weather-resistive barrier. Use compatible color-matched caulk specifically formulated for vinyl siding. For vinyl siding in the entryway ceiling, confirm the deadwood is running the correct direction. The vinyl siding panels should run parallel with the path of entry to the home as shown in the video. All caulked joints should be neat and color matched. Do not leave sloppy caulk joints. This will make even the best siding job look poorly installed. Pick up your trash and cuttings as you move around the building. This will make cleanup easier at the end of the job. Install shutters using the fasteners provided. Before installing trim coil to posts, fascia, and other framing, check for nails and other bumps that will show through the installed trim coil. Install siding panels and trim coil to minimize the visibility of the seams. Install the first course away from the primary line of sight. This is how we do it. All fasteners left loose to allow for expansion and contraction. Gaps between siding panels and trim to allow for movement. Fascia nailing pre-drilled to prevent oil canning. Color match caulk neatly applied and wiped clean. Installed material wiped clean. All trash picked up and removed from the site according to the trash agreement. Do it right the first time and everybody wins.